And welcome viewers. This is of course a brand new episode of Mirror Prime, and today our focus will be Goa. The name of course evokes images of sandy shores, lively shacks and also vibrant culture, but there are concerns now that this tourist paradise is actually losing its charm. Now today, foreign tourism in Goa is struggling to reach its pre-COVID peak. A recent report claims that there is a steep decline with over 1.5 million international visitors in 2023. Compare this to 2019, there were 8.5 million, a drop of 80%. Many of these tourists, once loyal to Goa, are now choosing destinations like Sri Lanka and Thailand, where they find cheaper stays, smoother transportation, and also friendlier policies. Compounding these issues is also the rising tide in frustration, of course, that domestic tourists are also voicing. The tourists, in fact, are frustrated over infrastructure, cleanliness, and lack of safety, especially as far as women are concerned. There's also a lot of outrage on social media about the so-called taxi mafia. Tourists say that they are being overcharged and even threatened by local taxi operators. To make it worse, there's no option of Ola or Uber in Goa either. If you ever have visited Goa yourself personally, you'll also be able to list many more issues such as narrow, overcrowded roads, erratic internet, and also rising airfares. In defense, now the Goa government comes out and says that comparing a state like Goa with other countries like Sri Lanka, Bali, or any other country, it's not right. But the big question, of course, tonight is, can Goa evolve to stay competitive in this tourism market? Or will its charm fade, its tourism charm fade under these growing pressures? In fact, joining us right now, our guest today, Amit Palekar, who is the Goa Aam Aadmi Party president, Giriraj Pai Varnekar, who is a spokesperson of the Goa BJP, and Zorawar Kalra, the founder and managing director of Massive Restaurant. Gentlemen, I appreciate you joining us on the broadcast. I'll start with Amit Palekar here. Amitji, this is the CEIC data that I'm quoting right now. Goa's foreign tourism in 2023, it's 1.5 million. In 2019, in fact, it was 8.5 million. It's a 80% drop. What's happening in Goa?
Much before this data was revealed, you must have seen my tweet about a month and a half ago, where I have categorically stated that Goa is losing its tourism to countries like Sri Lanka, to Vietnam and other places. I think you've been saying that, you said it on the dot today. I think it's a failure of the government to clearly provide the infrastructure, the quality tourism that Goa was once known for. Goa is a paradise lost, and I stand by this statement when I said Goa is a paradise lost, because the fact remains as people of Goa are beautiful. Goa got its name as the best tourist destination, peaceful tourist destination, maybe because of the people that what Goa holds. And what is sought to be done right now is the policy is not in place, the infrastructure is not in place. The major tourist destination, the infrastructure, the roads are in such pathetic state that you can't even walk, forget about driving on those roads. Now, considering this, you go to Sri Lanka, you have better infra. You go to a poor country, as you call it, poor country like Vietnam. You have cheaper destination, luxurious hotels, good service, no harassment by the police, no harassment by the authorities. The businesses that also have come into Goa in terms of in tourism sector have been succumbing to extortion by the government and the government agencies, and probably the people in the government itself. And this we have seen with the kind of extortion that happens with the restaurants, the clubs, or the music places in the name of enforcement. Whereas it should have been the duty of the government to create entertainment hubs. It should have been the duty of the government to create infrastructure, to create facilities for wholesome tourism. I think family tourism is lacking in Goa. Goa government has relied more on casinos to bring in people to Goa rather than bringing quality tourists to Goa as a family tourism sector. And I think the number of domestic tourists rise has been shown. It is apparent that they are coming for casinos, but casinos are also moving to places like Sri Lanka. The casinos which are operating in Goa have already started their operations in Sri Lanka. Cheaper flights to Sri Lanka, a flight from Goa costs you about 15,000-20,000 rupees return, whereas a flight one way from Bombay to Goa costs you sometimes 10 to 15,000 rupees. So why would somebody come to Goa to be harassed by the tourist, to be harassed by the police, to be harassed by the traffic police? The coastal belt ministers, coastal belt MLAs have come on record to say that the tourists are being harassed by the police. Yet nothing has been done. I think it's a comprehensive failure of the chief minister and the ministers alike. You can't blame it on.
Absolutely.